Grow more, work less. The anti-aging garden hack for your soy. Hey there, friends, and welcome to Meaningful Living. It's always a joy to connect with you. We are so happy to have you here today. We are constantly searching for the most helpful and interesting information to share with you. How are you doing today? Are you feeling good? Drop a few words in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We truly cherish hearing from each of you. This is where we talk all things garden grit and growing gracefully with age. If you're like us, perhaps retired, loving the feel of warm soil between your fingers, and finding that deep peace in tending to your plants, then you know how frustrating it can be when your garden just won't seem to bounce back, no matter what you do. That feeling of helplessness when, despite all efforts, the plants are listless, and the soil doesn't want to yield a generous harvest. But don't you worry. Today, we are sharing a simple, profound secret that took decades to truly grasp. It's a wisdom that brought our tired old soil back to vibrant life, and it doesn't require any fancy tools or pricey tricks. Just real, down-to-earth insights from one seasoned gardener to another. This isn't just a hobby, it's a source of vital energy that reminds us of life's cycles and never-ending hope. And before we dive into today's topic, a gentle reminder from us. When you're out there enjoying your garden, please remember to take care of yourselves. Listen to your body, take breaks, stay hydrated, and wear your sun hat. For those of us who aren't as spry as we once were, using lightweight, ergonomic tools is not a luxury, but a necessity. Keep that in mind when choosing your gear. Gardening is a profound joy, and we want you to stay safe and comfortable while doing what you love. It's all about nurturing both your garden and yourself. The hidden world beneath our feet. You know, after all these wonderful years spent with our hands in the soil, we still feel a deep fascination with what's happening right beneath our feet. It truly is like a bustling little town underground that never sleeps. Have you ever wondered how many secrets the earth beneath your feet holds? In fact, scientists at the University of Colorado have shown that just 1 teaspoon of healthy garden soil can contain over 1 billion microorganisms. That's more living creatures than people in all of North America. And the most beautiful thing about it, friends, is that they don't just survive down there. They actively work for you. Much like the beneficial bacteria in our own digestive systems, which many of us support with daily probiotics, these incredible microbes in your soil help your plants absorb vital nutrients, fight off diseases, and grow stronger. Think of them as the diligent, silent guardians of your garden. As seasoned gardeners, we truly come to appreciate patience, soothing routines, and careful observation. We've learned that quick fixes are rarely long-lasting, and that nature truly works best when we patiently listen to her rhythm. And that's exactly what this incredible unseen soil community teaches us. It reminds us that the best results come not from rushing, but from understanding and collaborating with nature, which, you'll agree, is a wonderful lesson for our age. The soil food web, as scientists affectionately call it, is an intricate, beautiful network of bacteria, fungi, and tiny soil creatures that communicate, cooperate, and tirelessly recycle nutrients, all without our interference. But, like any thriving community, they need certain things to flourish. They need food, which we'll talk about in a moment. They need shelter, that's aerated, moisture-rich soil that hasn't been compacted. And most of all, they need time. Time to grow, establish, and create lasting, transformative changes beneath the surface. So, the big question is, how do we lovingly feed this industrious underground village? That's where the true magic of compost begins. Your task for today: try spending a few minutes in your garden just observing. Touch the earth. Imagine this hidden world teeming with life, and think about how you can support it. Compost, the true black gold. We know some folks still wrinkle their noses at the word compost. Maybe they picture stinky piles of kitchen scraps or something too messy to bother with. But let us tell you, friends, compost, when done right, is pure gold for your soil. It's not waste, it's nature's amazing way of giving back. And trust us, in these times when every penny counts, Making your own compost is not only eco-friendly but also incredibly cost-effective for your wallet. And you don't need acres of land, fancy tools, or a science degree in gardening to make it work. Just a little patience and the right approach that fits your lifestyle. Over the years, we've simplified composting into 3 wonderful systems that even we, senior folks with achy knees or smaller yards, can easily manage. Let us show you exactly how. Are you ready to discover how compost can transform your garden with less effort? Vermicomposting, worm bin, small, but mighty. Here's a method we heartily recommend to every gardener over 60, especially if you're working with limited space or a little less bending ability. We call this our worm hotel for composting. It's actually an old freezer that no longer freezes, but it's absolutely teeming with life. It's a great idea for repurposing old items, isn't it? We simply filled it with kitchen scraps, shredded leaves, and thousands of these hard-working little helpers, red wiggler worms. These incredible worms quietly go about their business, tirelessly turning waste into vermicompost, a dark, crumbly compost that looks a bit like coffee grounds, but performs like rocket fuel for your precious plants. And the absolute beauty of this method, friends, is there's no heavy lifting, no exhausting turning of piles, and absolutely no odor. This is especially important for those of us who feel our backs aren't what they used to be, or have limited mobility. Forget shovels and heavy wheelbarrows. Just scoop and spread each year. This little system alone gives us almost 600 pounds of compost annually. That's enough to infuse life into every garden bed we have, and then some. We know some might worry about the cold in winter, but we've got a wonderful trick. We create a simple biofurnace by mixing coffee grounds, a little chicken manure, some garden soil, and dry leaves right in the center of the bin. It heats up naturally, and the worms, much like us senior folks seeking the sunniest chair on the porch, simply relocate to the warmer edges. They truly know how to stay comfortable. What we love most is that every scoop of this compost is absolutely brimming with enzymes, tiny worm eggs, and a host of beneficial microbes. It's truly like an immune boost for your garden, and trust us, your plants will thank you immensely for it. By the way, if you want to learn more about the amazing world of worms and their role, we have a separate video on that. The link will be in the comments. Your task: try to find an old container, maybe even a small plastic bin, and visualize your own worm hotel. It could be your first step to incredibly easy composting. The classic hot pile, for those building volume. If you're fortunate enough to have a bit more space in your yard, perhaps a quiet corner you don't mind dedicating to compost, let us tell you about our fantastic hot compost pile. It's an old-fashioned system, it's true, but it's incredibly reliable and wonderfully efficient. We have 4 simple bins, constructed from recycled wood, each about 4 feet high and wide. They're not fancy, but they're sturdy, and they do the job beautifully. The key to success here, friends, is getting the balance just right, finding that magic ratio. And this is backed by countless studies from reputable agricultural universities like Cornell. It's typically 30 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen. Think of it this way: more dry, brown materials like fallen leaves or shredded cardboard, and fewer wet, green materials like kitchen scraps. Mix them well, layer by layer. Keep the pile consistently moist, not soggy, but like a well-wrung sponge, and make sure it gets plenty of air. We admit, in our younger days, we diligently turned this pile every few weeks. But today, with our backs not what they once were, we've changed tactics. For us senior gardeners, it's important to find ways to make life easier, isn't it? Once the pile starts to cool down, we simply add worms from our vermicomposter right into the mix. They painstakingly process that material throughout the winter, breaking it down into rich, earthy compost by spring. No turning required. It's truly amazing and incredibly labor-saving. Just a quick word of caution, friends. Be very mindful of what you're adding. Some store-bought straw or even manure can contain persistent herbicides, and sadly, these can survive the composting process, even at high heat. So, whenever possible, use clean, chemical-free materials. This will not only protect your garden but also your health and your wallet, avoiding unnecessary expenses for plant treatments. It truly makes a huge difference. And trust us, there's something deeply satisfying about seeing steam rise from a winter compost pile, knowing those tireless little microbes and worms are hard at work while you're inside enjoying your favorite tea. It's like wonderful teamwork, isn't it? Your task, if you have a bit of extra space, try starting a small compost pile. It doesn't have to be perfect, just begin collecting brown and green materials. It's the first step. Leaf pile, the set it and forget it method. Let us tell you about a little secret. This next method we call our lazy gardener's goldmine. It's perfectly suited for those of us who might not be up for turning compost weekly or building elaborate bins, but still dearly wish for that rich, living compost that keeps our gardens glowing. Isn't it true that as we get older, we increasingly appreciate simplicity and efficiency? All we did, friends, was collect a mountain of fallen leaves and pile it about 6 feet high in a quiet corner of our backyard. No fancy structure, no fuss whatsoever. We added just a bit of garden soil, enough to introduce those helpful microbes, moistened it slightly, and then, crucially, released a few thousand red wiggler worms right into the middle. Then we just walked away. Magic! That was over a year ago. Let us tell you, when we peeled back the top layer last spring, what we found was pure magic, a pile of dark, crumbly, worm-rich compost, absolutely ready to return our garden beds to vibrant life. No smell, no turning, no heavy lifting. This method avoids back pain and joint strain, transforming hard work into pleasant observation of nature. Just time, patience, and nature doing her quiet, perfect work. Research from places like Michigan State University has shown that leaf compost not only holds moisture better than regular soil but is also packed with beneficial fungi, which is something our aging gardens and our backs will truly appreciate. If you have a quiet corner you can dedicate, we urge you to give this method a try. It's a beautiful, gentle reminder that sometimes the best things grow when we simply give them space and trust nature's wisdom. Try collecting fallen leaves into a separate pile this autumn and see what a miracle it creates by spring. It's your effortless task. Let the plants lead. Now that your composting systems are happily bubbling away, whether it's your diligent vermicomposter, your mighty hot pile, or your humble yet effective leaf pile, it's time to shift our focus to the true stars of the garden, the plants themselves. You see, many gardeners still think of plants as passive beings, just sitting around waiting for us to fertilize them. But that couldn't be further from the beautiful truth. Do you know that your plants are truly intelligent, capable of taking care of themselves? Plants are incredibly smart, friends. In fact, recent research from the Rhizosphere Ecology Labs at UC Davis has shown that plants actually direct their own nutrient needs using a microscopic network right at their root tips. This fascinating place scientists call the rhizosphere. This is where the real magic happens. As those roots grow and explore the soil, they cleverly exude special exudates, little chemical packets of sugars and proteins. Think of them like homemade cookies for microbes. And sure enough, bacteria and fungi come happily running. These busy microbes congregate around the root zone and begin to multiply. And, just like in nature's perfect rhythm, this attracts the next group in the chain. Tiny creatures like protozoa and nematodes, who then feed on the bacteria. Their waste, which is incredibly rich in nutrients, becomes the very food the plants can actually absorb. It's a perfectly orchestrated nutrient exchange, directed by the plant itself. And the most amazing thing, it does it on demand. Need more nitrogen? The plant subtly adjusts its exudates. Need more calcium or phosphorus? It adjusts again. It truly is like watching a brilliant conductor direct an orchestra, only this magnificent concert is happening quietly, deep underground. But for this incredible system to work, your soil simply must be full of diverse microbial life. And that, friends, is exactly what your homemade compost provides. Not synthetic fertilizers, not quick fixes, but real, living, holistic support. Because when you feed the soil feeds the microbes feed the plants, and the plants, well, they feed you. Isn't that a beautiful full circle? Like life in the garden, everything is connected, everything has a purpose, and everything truly grows stronger together. This allows you to spend less effort and money, relying on nature's wisdom. By the way, if you want to learn more about the amazing world of microorganisms in the soil, we have a separate video on that. The link will be in the comments. Your task: The next time you're near your plants, try to imagine this incredible dance happening underground. It will help you better understand the importance of supporting life in the soil. Fixing the mistakes that exhaust your soil. If your garden still isn't quite thriving, even with all the compost and care you're providing, we want you to know. It is absolutely not your fault. Many of us, especially those who've been gardening for decades, just learned habits that we now know actually do more harm than good. We were told to till the soil every spring, space plants in neat rows, and immediately reach for chemical sprays the moment our leaves looked a little yellow. Do you recognize yourself in these old habits? We did too. By the way, if you want to dive deeper into the world of microbes and their role in soil health, we have separate videos on that, links to which you'll find in the comments. But modern soil science, including groundbreaking research from the Rodale Institute and Dr. Elaine Ingham's pioneering work on the soil food web, has shown us a new, vital truth. These old habits can actually do more harm than good. When we till the soil, we're not just turning earth, we're ripping apart delicate fungal networks, exposing vital microbial homes to harsh sunlight, and sadly, undoing months of nature's slow, steady work. It's truly like bulldozing a peaceful village. This is extra effort that doesn't yield the desired results. And when we add synthetic fertilizers, it might look like a quick fix, but it actually dampens the plant's natural ability to call in its microbial helpers. The entire soil food web, that beautiful orchestra we just spoke about, can break down. Suddenly, your plants become entirely dependent, needing you to feed them over and over again. It's a bit like giving kids too much sugar and wondering why they get sluggish afterward. Spending money on these fertilizers is like constantly buying medicine instead of strengthening immunity. Even compacted soil, often found in old well-used beds, makes life incredibly hard for roots. Instead of growing deep and strong, roots spread sideways, bumping into each other, struggling for air and water. But the solution, friends, is surprisingly simple. Create deep, aerated beds just once, either raised beds or double-dug areas in the ground, and then simply leave them alone. Raised beds, for example, are a wonderful life hack for our backs, reducing the need for bending. Roots will stretch 2 feet down, finding moisture and nutrients you never knew existed. And instead of planting in sparse rows, try intensive spacing. Fill every inch of that bed. This clever technique creates a living mulch, keeping weeds down, holding moisture in, and maintaining a nice, stable temperature. Research from the University of California, Santa Cruz, has shown that this approach can increase yields by up to 400% per square foot, and that's a lot for us. So yes, more harvest with less bending, less weeding, and far less worry. Your task: try planting one bed more densely than usual and see how it reduces weeds and the need for watering. Building a resilient ecosystem. Once your soil truly comes alive, and your plants are naturally sourcing their nutrients, something beautiful begins to happen. Quietly, steadily. You'll start noticing fewer pests, consistently healthier foliage, and more abundant, robust harvests. And here's the true marvel, friends. You're actually doing less, and nature is doing more. Isn't this what we all strive for? More results with less effort, especially in our golden years? For us seniors who truly value the deep joy of slowing down while remaining profoundly connected, this is an incredible blessing. When your garden becomes a thriving ecosystem, it's not just growing vegetables, it's cultivating balance. Beneficial insects like cheerful ladybugs and gentle lacewings start to appear, pollinators flock to your vibrant flowers, and good bugs naturally start eating the bad ones. You stop fighting nature, and instead, you become her dear partner. Researchers from the Michigan State University Extension Program have found that when home gardens encourage biodiversity, they become significantly more resilient, even under the stress of weather patterns or disease pressure. That's truly good news for those of us navigating changing climates and our own aging bodies. It's like having your own natural insurance policy for your garden that doesn't cost a dime. Just a few simple habits can boost this resilience even further. Try rotating your crops annually so pests and diseases don't get too comfortable. Lovingly plant some flowers alongside your vegetables. Beautiful marigolds, cheerful calendulas, or vibrant zinnias, not just for their beauty, but for those busy bees and butterflies they attract. And every time you harvest or prune, don't forget to mulch. A generous layer of leaves, straw, or finished compost keeps that precious soil community well fed and wonderfully protected. As for pesticides, even organic ones, they should truly be a last resort. The more life you lovingly allow, both above and below ground, the stronger and more self-sufficient your entire garden system becomes. This not only saves you money on expensive products but also reduces your work and worries. And that, dear friends, is the kind of gardening that not only yields delicious food but also cultivates deep peace. Your task: find a spot in your garden for companion flowers next to your vegetables. See how many bees and beneficial insects they attract. Your garden is waiting. When we first started composting, we admit, it was mostly to save a few dollars on fertilizers. Like many of us, we came from a generation that truly believed in using what we had and spending as little as possible. And you'll agree, knowing how to save money and use resources wisely, that's always a valuable skill, isn't it? But somewhere along the way, something truly shifted deep within us. We saw the soil come alive in ways it never had before. We saw deeper, stronger roots, healthier plants, and foliage so green it almost glowed with vitality. And more than the garden's transformation, we felt something come alive within ourselves too. There's something profoundly beautiful about feeding the earth that gently, lovingly nourishes the soul. This isn't just a hobby, it's our daily meditation, a way to cope with stress and find harmony in a constantly changing world. It reminds us, especially in our golden years, that true growth takes time, that slowness isn't a failure, but a sacred part of nature's magnificent design. Even what seems like a loss, a fallen leaf, an old, tired plant, beautifully becomes part of a brand new beginning. So, whether you start small, with a simple worm composter, or nurture a quiet leaf pile in a peaceful corner of your yard, remember this, friends: you're not just gardening. You're participating in something ancient, deeply intelligent, and immensely healing. It's a path that requires less physical effort on your part over time, yet yields immense dividends in healthy plants and inner peace. And nature, she's been patiently waiting for you all along. Your task for reflection: think about what new beginnings or second chances gardening has brought into your life. So, to lovingly wrap up our inspiring journey today, growing truly living soil and creating wonderful compost doesn't have to be a chore. It's about embracing the amazing, quiet partnerships naturally happening beneath your feet. Remember those 3 simple composting methods we shared, whether it's your diligent worm composter, the mighty hot pile, or the humble, effortless leaf pile. The incredible way plants signal for their food, how to lovingly avoid those 4 hidden soil mistakes that drain your energy and wallet, and the immense joy of creating a resilient, living garden ecosystem that works for you. And above all, please remember what we said earlier. Always prioritize your well-being in the garden. Take care of your body, nourish your mind, and fuel your spirit as you lovingly tend to your plants. Gardening is a wonderful gift that gives back so much, but only if we listen to ourselves and our bodies. It's not just a hobby, it's a source of vital energy that reminds us of life's cycles and never-ending hope. How do you create living soil or manage compost in your precious garden? We would absolutely love to hear your wisdom. Share your tips in the comments below. Your advice could be incredibly helpful and inspiring to others in our growing, meaningful living family. And if this video was helpful for you, inspiring, or you just felt a little more connected to the garden today, please share it with someone who might benefit. Your sharing helps our community grow and flourish, just like our beloved gardens. And don't forget to subscribe to Meaningful Living for more tips and inspiration to enrich your daily life. We're here to help you live your best life, full of joy, connection, and beautiful, meaningful growth.